Hello, Instagram. It's me, Donna. We had a little technical problem signing on. I'm Donna Hoffman. They call me the Interior Design Advocate because I advocate on behalf of design lovers everywhere, both on the design lover side and the professional designer side. If you would love to win one of my online courses, I'm going to be telling you about a great contest that we're going to be running. And I'll hold that for a sec because I want to dive into today's topic. So you know that each week we take a different topic, and I got a lot of questions recently about open concept design, and particularly area rugs in open concept, and particularly window treatments in open concept. So I thought, let's combine this into one Facebook Live and Instagram Live. Now, this is not going to be a visual lesson. If you want visual lessons, then you would go to my online courses. These Insta Lives and Facebook Lives, they're sort of like fireside chats. I always say fireside chats without the fire and without the brandy, or whatever else that you do in a fireside chat. So today we're talking about how to make your life easier when you're looking at area rugs and window treatments for open concept. And we will even say that this applies to, doesn't have to be a whole first floor of open concept. You could have an open concept kitchen into great room, period. That's it. So I find that my design lovers, as brilliant as you are, you make your lives a lot harder when you're looking at open concept, and you're making some problems for yourself that you don't need to. In open concept, okay, you don't have walls, but you still have zones, right? And that's what we're going to call these rooms or these areas. That's what we designers call it, a zone, right? So there's the kitchen zone, and then there's the kitchen eating zone. You might call that your breakfast area. And then there might be an open concept dining room or dining area zone. And then there might also be a great room or living room. We're going to call that the great room zone or the seating zone, the soft seating zone. So when you have these different zones in open concept, remember, think of open concept as if somebody just came in and lifted out all the walls. There needs to be agreement between all of those spaces with your area rugs and your window treatments, but we're not talking about matching. This is not Garanimals matchy-matchy. I like to say, have things in conversation so that things sit well together, but they don't have to be the exact same. In fact, as a professional designer, I don't make everything the same when I'm doing open concept, but I make sure there's an excellent agreement. So one thing, let's start out first and foremost. We're not going for matchy-matchy, we're going for agreement. And if you can, think about it as one total space that is broken up into zones. Stop thinking of them as separate rooms or separate spaces, okay? So the thing I'd like you to think about when it comes to your area rugs is, number one, not every zone needs an area rug, right? Now, I'm talking to a client couple right now in the Washington, D.C. area, and he's very modern, doesn't want any rugs. She is modern, but she wants area rugs. So I said, well, can you compromise and do one area rug? We'll still make it, you can still make it look very modern, but it doesn't have to be an all or nothing sort of moment. But I don't want you to feel like you have to do area rugs at all if you're uber modern and minimalist, or if you want to do just a rug in the seating zone, but you don't want to do anything in the dining areas. No problem, that's fine. But what if you do want to have rugs in all of those areas? Here's what you need to know. Same thing with your fabric story and your window treatments. Fabric, like area rugs, has a few components. Certainly there's texture. I'm going to leave that aside for now. But there's color and there's pattern, right? So you need to make sure in open concept that you are varying your pattern scale. Do you know what I mean by that? Pattern scale is the size of your patterns. Small scale patterns, mid scale, and large scale. So let's say in your kitchen zone, you do a large scale pattern on your window treatment there. You're not going to want to do another large scale in another zone in that open concept. You're going to want to do a mid scale or a solid or a small scale print, right? So you don't have two big scale prints colliding. I teach this in much greater detail and with visuals in one of my online courses. We'll talk about that later. So basically with your window treatments and open concept, you want to think about how is the eye sweeping the space. Same thing with rugs. How is the eye sweeping the space? So the first question you want to ask yourself is, am I varying my pattern well? Am I mixing my patterns well? Some large scale, some mid scale, some small scale, as well as and or solid, right? You don't need one of each, but you want to make sure you're not colliding two large scales against each other. Large scales need to be kind of the moment in the room in the most simplified way of looking at this, right? So with your area rugs, for example, let's say you do want to have two area rugs. So you would do perhaps a mid-scale in one zone and a solid in another, or solid could be a texture. It doesn't have to be a boring solid. It could have a tone-on-tone kind of play, a small scale repeat, right? Small scale pattern. So you want to think about with your rugs, what am I doing with my pattern sizes? Think small scale, mid-scale, large scale, and then solid. Solid goes with everything. One large scale in the space, please, to keep your life really easy. Up to 2 mid scales in the space, and certainly small scale patterns and solids, easy to broadcast those everywhere, but you might want something that has a little bit more oomph to it than that, than just a small scale or a solid. So with your window treatments, same kind of thing. When you're looking at fabric, you want to think about, what am I doing with those, the pattern scale. But the other thing you want to think about is your color. It's where it gets a little bit dicier. With color, we've talked about this before. You want a single color palette that moves through your entire open concept space, right? Now, per zone, you're going to vary up that palette in terms of proportion, meaning how much of something. Let's say you have a 4-color palette grouping that you're working with. Let's say it's navy, cream, gray, and white. Okay, navy, cream, gray, white. That's your color palette in your open concept. So you might be 30% navy in one zone, 10% navy in another zone, 40% in another zone. That's what I mean about changing up your proportion. So there has to be a single color palette, but you're not doing the same amount of every color through each zone. You now know what those zones are, right? And you also want to be careful. This is where it gets a little trickier. You want to make sure that you're being careful on the undertones of your colors. So if you have a navy, for example, and you want to add a second version of that navy in a lighter version, that's fine, as long as it has the same undertone. You don't want to go from a super sweet blue to a really inky blue. Can I, as a designer, do that very easily? Yes. Can my professional design divas out there do that very easily? Yes. But if you're a DIY design lover, you're one of my doing your own home design divas, I'd like you to make your life really simple and just keep your undertones consistent. Even from color to color, if you keep those undertones consistent, you'll have a much easier time. So, open concept. For area rugs, for window treatments, what are the considerations? Pattern scale. How are you moving pattern scale in your rugs and your window treatments through the space? Color. How are you manipulating the color palette from zone to zone to zone? And within your window treatments, what's happening with that color palette? Are you a solid blue in one area? Are you a blue banding in another area? See what I'm doing? I'm changing that the window treatment is changing, but it's the ratio of color that I'm assigning. Now, window treatments are a conundrum in and of themselves. Such a big topic and a deep dive topic, and everything I'm talking about today really would benefit by visuals. And again, that's not what we do here during our fireside chats. But with window treatments, if they make you loopy, if they really drive you crazy, I invite you to check out my Window Boss course, Window Boss, how to plan and select the perfect window treatments for you, because I dive into everything you need to know about window treatments. And now with open concept, as with all rooms, one single contained room, with window treatments, it's never about the glass that you're trying to treat. It's never about that one window. It's never about that one sliding glass door. And I know you all hate your sliding glass doors. It's never about that one French door. It's never about that one single window, double window, or triple window, or bay window. It's never about that when you're treating your windows. It's never about the one window, the one door. It's about the combination of everything that the eye is seeing in that open concept. It's the combination of every piece of glass that the eye is seeing in that open concept, to be more clear. It's the combination of all of the glass that the eye is seeing in that one room. And when you understand that it's about the total combination of all the glass, all the windows, and all the doors in that space, then the choices that are open to you become obvious. The choices that are not open to you fall away. And that is what I tackle so easily inside of Window Boss. So I've posted for you on Facebook a link to learn more about that amazing online course. Women love it because A, it works, B, it works across all budgets, all design styles, and ready-made or semi-custom or custom. Sometimes people have asked me, well, what's semi-custom? Semi-custom would be like a Smith & Noble catalog where you have a selection of a certain number of styles and certain number of patterns and colors, but not endless choice, right? But you can still do fairly customizable things. Full custom is any fabric, any design that you're doing. And a lot of women who are working with professional designers like using my Window Boss course, that you know what your designer is doing and you know how to answer the questions the right way and ask the right questions and expect things. And there you go. So there it is. So if you have questions about your open concept space, particularly when it refers to or pertains to your rugs or your window treatments, by all means, type that in now. And while you're typing that in, I want to tell you about a fun contest that we are running. So listen up. If you would like to win one of my online courses, you can. So we are doing an interior, the TIDA, that's what we call ourselves here, short for the Interior Design Advocate. We're doing the TIDA bookcase or bookshelf makeover. That's the TIDA bookcase or bookshelf makeover. And that is open to you to join if you have already taken my Design CPR online course. That's Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories. If you've taken Design CPR and you want to join this contest, enter this contest, here's what you need to do. Other than having completed Design CPR, you want to take a before and after picture of your bookcase or bookshelf. I'm going to put on my specs so I make sure I get all of this out to you. You are going to want to post your images on Instagram using the hashtag TIDA Bookcase Challenge. And we'll tell you, we'll post a link for all of this for you too. So TIDA Bookcase Challenge. And in your caption, you just want to write a few words about how Design CPR really moved the needle for you so you could get this great bookcase and or bookshelf makeover happening. You need to follow us on our Instagram at decorating.genius, and you have to also follow the Interior Design Advocate on YouTube. So follow us on YouTube and on Instagram. Post your image with that hashtag. You have until April 12. And the prize is you get to pick out any one of my online courses, have it for free, or if you've taken all my courses, you can have a free 6-month membership to my VIP lounge where I get together with my design divas once a month. And that's really a lot of fun online. So if you want more information, head over to our Instagram at decorating.genius and you will find more info, link in bio. There it is. So giving away some courses and getting to look at your gorgeous bookcase makeover or shelf makeover. So there it is. And if you missed any portion of this, this whatever we're doing here, you can find us on YouTube. There it is at the Design Advocate. Why don't I take some questions here? Okay, so we got off to a rocky start. I'm still settling. I'm gonna have a little more seltzer. Too bad there's nothing else in here. Okay, I'm feeling settled already just from that diet tonic and lime. There it is. So Lisa is saying she's so happy that she can finally catch up at the beginning. Lisa, I'm so glad you're here as well. Jamie's happy she's here for the live feed. Good. I'm so glad, Jamie. And Lisa is saying hello to Steve as well as to Donna. Thank you. Passing that along. Steve, you got a hello over there. Dora is saying hello from Utah. Kay Keene is here. Hi, Kay. How are you? I'm getting a lot of hellos from Washington, Greensboro, North Carolina. We had a student from Australia join us yesterday, which is kind of cool. Okay, Kay is saying, can I use a traditional rug under my dining table if I have a modern rug in my living room, open concept? You know, Kay, experienced designers, we can really flip between traditional and modern like a good jazz musician can. You have to know the rules of music to be able to take a piece of music apart and do a jazz riff. Same thing in design. So without seeing a picture, so in theory, Kay, absolutely you can, but without seeing a picture, I can't give you a definitive answer. So that, but Kay, I know you're one of our students, So I know you can post a picture, and Kay, you are also one of my VIP peeps, so I get to see you online during our live online meetup, so you can send me pictures on that one as well. But I love the idea. When you take design styles and start to push the envelope by doing great combos, traditional with something more modern leaning, oh, very exciting. Great antique in a modern interior. Whew, really good. Ellen is here from Danville, PA. Ellen, where is Danville? I don't know where that is. So Delanis is asking me, Delanis Rodriguez is saying, what are the best drapes for loft windows? Do you mean that they are at the second story, Delanis? 2-story tall? Do you mean that they're clerestory windows only at the second story? I need more info from you, so why don't you pop in a little more info there. Lisa is saying hello from Albany, New York. You know, I was in Albany when I was in high school once. I was singing with the All-State, New York All-State Chorus. I will never forget this. We were in the Capitol building on break, and there is some fan going really loud here on my desk. It sounds like an airplane, like it's going to take off. You hearing that? We don't know what that is. Maybe I should just drink more seltzer. But anyway, so we were there waiting on break, and all of a sudden some tenor or soprano started singing the Hallelujah chorus. And then we all just started singing it without any music. We sounded great, and there was no conductor. We just sang it all together. That is my Albany memory. Isn't that crazy here at town, and it brings you back? Okay, so anyway, I'm getting hellos from Florida, from all over the place. Hello to everybody and hugs to everybody. Cheryl is saying, is anyone seeing a video? Yeah, Cheryl, I hope you've got back in here. So, okay. So Delanis is saying, again, she put in the same question. Delanis, I still need more information from you. Okay. Can you explain? Okay, Kim is, oh, this is such a good question. Kim Williams is saying, can you explain undertone a little more? Kim, this is such a good question. I had a conference, an in-person conference for my Design Divas about 2 years ago. And in it, I taught a live workshop on undertone, and it was tough. It was hard. Everybody at one point looked at me and thought, you've got to be kidding. But they loved it by the time we were done. I put a plate, a disposable paper plate in front of everybody in the room. The hotel really loved us for this one. There was a blob of every primary color, blue, red, yellow, real paint. Then there was a blob of white paint and a blob of black paint. And there were paint brushes and then some blank paper or blank plates to work on. I said, great, you're going to start learning about undertone. You see those colors on your plate? You're going to use those, and we're going to mix a color. So let's do one that's easy. Let's do pink. So you're going to take, and we put up recipes on the big overhead, and we did some red with some white, and we mixed pink. And everyone, all the divas saw, hey, the more white I added to the red, the lighter and lighter my pink got. And then I'd say, okay, now darken it up. Add more red to it. They'd add more red. The pink would get deeper until it turned back into a red or a deep rose. So then I said, okay, that was the easy part. Then I handed out fabric. I said, okay, tell me what color you would paint your wall if this was an important splash fabric. So people said, oh, I would go with sand, or I would paint tan, or I would go gray. I'd say, great, mix that color. Everybody looked at me like, what? But they did it. They used red, yellow, blue, black, and white to mix tan, to mix sand, to mix the color gray. How did they do that? Well, that's what they do at the paint store, lovelies. That's how all color contains those three primaries, black and white, but to a greater or lesser degree. So the undertone happens based upon what the color ratio is that makes that color. So if you looked at your paint deck, I'm sorry I don't have a paint deck here in my office, everything's down in the studio. If you looked at a paint deck, you would look at some blues that look, some gray rather, some grays in certain cards that would look like they have a lot of blue in them, and some grays would look like they have a lot of green in them, right? It's different undertone. It has to do with the ratio of color that was used to make that hue, which is really what you call a color once it's mixed. If you ever are trying to look at undertone and having a hard time figuring it out, look at your paint deck and look at the darkest color at the base of the deck where it fans out, your fan deck. Look at the color at the base, and that will tell you what the undertone is going to be in the rest of the colors on that ray, if you will, or on that card. Does that make sense? You guys following this? The undertone will be at the darkest color, and then you just go up through that ray. And what do you do to lighten it up? You add more white, right? But you're still in that same direction. So that's what I mean about the undertone. Does the gray color for that, I was looking at grays for a wall the other day. Some had a strong green undertone. Some had a strong blue undertone. Some look kind of purpley. That had to do with the ratio of color in the mix. So if hopefully, Kim, that makes sense to you. If give me a follow-up question and I'll go in deeper. Okay, there it is. So Tammy just said, you just named my color palette, but no navy. I'm searching for the fourth color. Navy may be it, but blue is my favorite color, but I already have blue in 2 bedrooms. I don't want to overdo it. What else can I do? So Tammy, sounds like you're gray, cream, and sand. You can really do any. That is a great neutral palette. You could add splashes of emerald green. You could add splashes of teal. You could do, or you could do splashes of yellow. I don't know what your design fingerprint is. You wouldn't do all those colors as your fourth. You'd pick one of them and see what's rocking your boat. So there it is. Hopefully that answered you real quick there. Wendy said, I have navy, cream, and gold art and decor in our open concept living room areas with light gray walls. What color furniture should we get? I have no idea, Wendy. I don't know what your design fingerprint is. I don't know what your undertones are and your whites and your creams. I really need to see a picture, babe. It sounds to me like you are a smart, savvy design diva, but you are flying without design strategy. And to make your life easier, you need design strategy. I invite you to check out any one of my courses or take a class near you locally. But you need design strategy for how to map out color palettes and really map out your entire room. And once you have that strategy, you will fly. You will fly. It's like having a recipe finally to make that amazing triple chocolate layer cake. It looks so hard in the picture, but then once you follow the steps, it all just works. So there it is. You might want to check out my courses or someone else's. If I could give you a more specific answer, Wendy, babes, I promise I would. Hello from Arizona. Hello, Tammy. And we've got Jerry here from Michigan. Good to have you there, Jerry. Jeanette is saying, I have an open concept house. Living room is has a large oriental rug that is considered grand salon style with browns, purples, greens, light blue. I would like to get a rug for the entryway that is directly across from it. And I would like something under the dining table. So here's the story. When you're working the way Jeanette is, you've got one key rug that you're working from. It has multiple colors in it. The easiest thing to do is look for your secondary colors or your tertiary colors. What are those? Well, when you look at a rug, I know you can immediately identify for me that rug is mostly what? Mostly gray, mostly blue, mostly cream. That's your primary. That's your main color. But then you're going to find some accent colors, secondary accent colors. They color the next most popular color on that rug. Those are your secondaries. You might have 2 of them, 3 of them. I don't know. I haven't seen the rug. And then from there, you might have a little minor accent, a little boop. It might be a little touch of something. You can take that touch of something and blow it up in another rug. You can take the secondary color and make that a key force in another rug, okay? So that's one way of working with an area rug that you have already or one that you found that you love, and you start to roll an entire palette out of it. Speaking of what we're talking about next week, because I see we're starting to run short on time. I'm still going to get to more questions. Let me tell you that next week we're talking about how to use Pinterest wisely when you're decorating your home. How to use Pinterest wisely when you're decorating your home. So join me next week, 4 p.m. here, Tuesday Eastern, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you missed any section of this, you can find us on YouTube at the Interior Design Advocate. If you are not following our luxury design brand, you can do so at IDH Designs. That's so you can see what's going on at our design studio. That's at IDH Designs. And then you definitely want to be following us on our teaching brand at decorating.genius. That's at decorating.genius. So next week's topic is how to use Pinterest wisely to decorate your home. All right, let me see what other questions we have. Here we go. So many hellos. Florida, the Bay Area, Grass Valley, California. My gosh, the whole crowd is here from California. Maria, Alana is here, Elena is here, and Aura is here. It's just like the party's starting here. All right, so Crease is saying, are there certain types? Oh, Sally is saying we need another conference as soon as COVID is over. Sally, your mouth to heaven's ears. That was so fun. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Anyway, sorry, just having a little flashback moment there. So Crease is saying, are there certain types of window treatments that are trending in or out? For instance, are roller shades frowned upon? No, roller shades are fine. Here's what you want to stay away from. Stay away from the scarves. Stay away from the swags and the jabots. Window treatments still have a very streamlined, clean look. Those are the things I would say. Froofy, the froofy, fluffy, poofy. Aura is saying, can anyone who has taken the course, any course, share their experience? Sure. I don't know if anybody's online right now who's taken Window Boss, but if you have, I'd love for you to tell me how you liked Window Boss. So, and Aura wants to know how you liked Window Boss as well. Jasveer is saying, do you recommend or need shades or blinds with drapery for formal living and formal dining rooms? No, not at all. So Javier, when you are deciding what to put on your window treatments, there are windows for treating them. There are a couple of things, right? Budget is one of them, because what Javier is talking about doing is doubling up her window treatments, doing 2 treatments. If you do panels and a shade, now I have to pay for 2 window treatments instead of 1. Your budget just went, well. So when do you add, for sure, a layered treatment? When do you do it, that shade or that blind? If you know you need privacy, if you know you don't want your panels to cover, traverse and cover the window, if you know you need to manipulate the light. I want to black things out when I sleep. I just want to pull down a shade, have total blackout. Or we're watching TV in this room. I want to be able to pull down a shade. Or this is my home office and I don't want a lot of light coming in, driving me crazy, at certain times of day or morning, okay? Or when I'm home alone at night, I feel uncomfortable walking around alone in my place. My honey bun is traveling because it's not COVID anymore, or works really long, late hours, and I'm not comfortable walking around in front of open, dark windows. So sometimes people want to close off their windows with a second layered treatment for privacy and a sense of safety. So there are different reasons that you might do it, okay? And yes, there are times we do it when budget is no object and you just want to add some layering to a treatment. You can do that as well. I hope I answered you, but no, you do not have to do that for a formal living room or dining room, Javier. So I hope that helps you. Alrighty, so I just want to remind everybody about the contest. Hang on. So here we go. Sharon Rudd Styles has said, Window Boss is the boss. It's really great. I'm on module 3 right now. I'm so glad, Sharon. I'm so glad you're loving it. I love watching what all of my Design Diva students do using my courses, and Window Boss is no different. My Design Divas and Window Boss have done things with ready-mades that looked unbelievable, that made their spaces sing. Unbelievable. So, and you know what? We also have a 30-day money-back guarantee on all of our courses. And I know some people said, aren't you afraid people will take advantage of you? They might use the course and then ask for a refund. We have such crazy, it's like unheard of. And am I sure there are people that will take advantage of me once in a while? Yeah, I am. But I think that what goes around comes around. I'm a good person, so I think I pretty much attract good people, and that really hasn't been an issue of people taking advantage. And I so believe in what my courses are that they deliver, over-deliver what I say, what I promise. So I feel really comfortable offering that policy. So let me tell you about the Makeover Challenge. The bookshelf or shelf, I said that wrong. The Bookcase or Shelf Makeover Challenge. If you are a Design CPR student, meaning you went through my Design CPR Creating Perfect Rooms course, we want to hear from you. We want you in this contest. You are eligible if you've done the course. You're going to post your before and after bookshelf or bookcase picture that you redesigned thanks to Design CPR, Creating Perfect Rooms with Accessories. Your images need to be posted on Instagram under the hashtag TIDA Bookcase Challenge. That's TIDA Bookcase Challenge. In your caption, you're just going to write a couple words about how Design CPR really helped you get that great result. You need to be following us on our Instagram feed, decorating.genius, and you also want to be following us on our YouTube channel, The Interior Design Advocate. You've got until Thursday, April 12th, and the winner gets picked based upon, I don't know if the winner gets picked, but I think it's going to be like a popularity thing, I guess, or our design team of our designers will pick. I should know that. I'm sorry. I should know that. The winner will get to pick out her own or his own course of mine for free. And if you've taken all my courses, you get a free 6-month membership into my VIP design and cocktails once a month meetup online. So head to our Instagram at decorating.genius for more info. I hope Katie is very happy with the way I announced that. All right, lovelies, listen, next week, it's all about how to use Pinterest wisely to decorate your home. How to use Pinterest wisely to decorate your home. That is all the time I have today for questions. I'm sorry, I got to scooch, got to get ready for a conference call. So I have loved being here with you. It's always great to hear what's on your brain. I'm so glad spring is here and we're all starting to look to COVID zipping out of here. I hear about a third of our country is already like, I don't know, has had their little poke, as they call it in England or whatever they're calling it. Anyway, there it is. Big hugs to you guys. Can't wait to see you next week, and can't wait to see how your bookcase and bookshelf makeovers are looking. I'm excited. Okay, dolls, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Donna. Thanks so much for watching. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and comment below so I know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to the Interior Design Advocates channel so you don't miss any of our great content.